on the impact of COVID-19 lockdown on women in the Niger Delta here in Nigeria. This is a research that was jointly carried out by myself, Dr. Therese Teibowei, and also by with Professor Ebitimitula Nicholas Etebo. He is the Vice Chancellor of this university, and he's a professor of pathology. The research was carried two of us, because though the Nigerian government has eased the lockdown imposed on the country by the increased number of persons affected by COVID-19, it has not made business bounce back since the outbreak of the pandemic. And it is on this basis that this study that we carried out to investigate the impact of COVID-19 pandemic after the lockdown that was imposed by the Nigerian government. What is that impact? What impact does it have on women in the Niger Delta region? Because a few studies have been carried out on the impact of COVID-19 in different sectors in Nigeria, but this is the first time a study is focusing on the impact on women here in the Niger Delta. And so our study is a study that is a qualitative and quantitative study, because we collected samples from 506 women from 6 communities here in Bayelsa State, where I am, and also in Delta State. And we found out that because of that, the study recommended that government and non-governmental palliatives should be targeted at women in this category, because many of them were not aware that palliatives were being distributed. And so we will recall that on the 25th of February 2020 in Nigeria, that was when the first index case of COVID-19 was found after an Italian visitor who visited Lagos State was being tested at the University Teaching Hospital here in Nigeria. And after that first case, the government decided to impose a 5-month lockdown. And this has had a lot of impact on the Nigerian economy. And at the expiration of that lockdown, we decided to focus the study to see what is the impact of this lockdown on the economy of women, on the health of women. We focus on the Niger Delta region because this is one of the poorest regions in Nigeria. It's one of the most vulnerable regions in this country, and mainly because of underdevelopment resulting from the consequences of oil and gas exploration, which is very, very intensive in this area, and it's a swampy area, and the environment is being destroyed. The youth and the women are living in poverty, below the poverty line. And activities of this oil exploration companies are very, very, very intensive here, polluting the environment and causing a lot of destruction. And now when COVID-19 came on board, it became even worse because the situation became worse because people are very poor. And so this research, like I said, is qualitative and quantitative, because a qualitative research seeks to look at the characteristics of a concept or an entity, whereas a qualitative research seeks to determine the number, the frequency, the occurrence of a situation in a group. Now, we decided to adopt a questionnaire, which was designed to elicit responses from these women in rural areas. We interviewed a lot of them. The ones that could not be interviewed in English were interviewed in our native indigenous language, which is called Ijaw language. And I'm going to present some data now. This is data from the interview that from the questionnaires that were sent out. We asked them, these are some of the questions that we asked, just about 5 of them I brought out here. Did the lockdown affect your business, such as going to the market, selling agricultural products? And that we have 71% of the women, 71.7% who said yes, lockdown affected their businesses and going out. Now, we also asked, has the COVID-19 pandemic affected earlier planned events such as burials, weddings, and visits? 81.9% of the women said yes, the pandemic affected this social life. And did the community health center, community function properly before and after the lockdown? We saw a lot of women, about 97.2%, said no. In fact, in some cases, they didn't even have a health center, not to talk of being open. But we also asked them, are you aware that government has palliative for COVID-19 victims? Well, out of that, 54%, 54.9% said they were not aware, while 45.1% said they were aware. We also asked them, did you benefit from any of the government palliatives? And in that one, an overwhelming 69.2% said no, while 30% said yes, they benefited. So we can see that the table I just presented covers responses from key questions that were extracted from that questionnaire. For example, we saw that 71.7% of female respondents were affected in economic terms as a result of that lockdown, and 28.3% of them said they were not affected. Now, on the social aspect, we saw that most family ties in the rural areas were not really affected that drastically because but they were affected to some extent because some of them had to postpone a lot of social events. And here in the Niger Delta, in our communities, people value burials, weddings, a lot of festivities. But during this pandemic, all social events were postponed. We even have a very famous festival here that holds annually, the Odi, which was postponed in 2020. It was cancelled altogether. So this shows that there were lack of activities. Now, while the Nigerian government also imitated some foreign nations and attempted to cushion the effect of this lockdown by providing palliatives, by providing medication, providing food items, but our research showed that only 54.9% of the women knew that these measures by government were taken, that they even existed. Whereas 69.2% did not even benefit from the disbursement of these government palliatives. And the Niger Delta is a very riverine terrain. It's a swampy area. And some even complain that probably because the terrain is so difficult, the rivers everywhere, you have to enter boats and to get from one location to the other. Probably that's why the palliative did not get to some areas of the community, and a lot of women had to suffer. But our discussion and our findings reveals that the COVID-19 pandemic continues to affect countries across the world, not just here in the Niger Delta, because it's a health crisis. It's a pandemic that has exposed a lot of challenges in the healthcare system here in Nigeria. And the Niger Delta is even more hit because not only is it a very vulnerable area, it's also a very poor community. So if we saw that 54.9% of respondents were not even aware that government had intervention, whereas in some other locations, such as Lagos, Ogun State, Kwara State, Kano, Ogun State, most of them there were aware that such palliatives existed. So women are particularly overrepresented among the low-wage workforce. They are engaged usually in small businesses. They are living in some areas that we call slums here, and because a lot of them are mostly self-employed and provide for themselves and their family. So the infection control measures that require them to stay at home, to observe social distancing, to avoid mass gatherings. They can't go out to even fetch water for their family. That had a very heavy toll on the women in the rural areas because they could not generate income, they could not even cater for the family members. Women are bearing more of the risk. Yes, it is true because impact of emergency responses on men and women clearly show that there was a gender disparity because of the traditional roles, gender roles that women have. They are responsible for domestic jobs like fetching water, fetching firewood, cooking, washing, farming, going to the market, caring for the sick. Even those who were affected by the pandemic, they were the ones that were caring for them and for the elderly, they suffer more. And now, when we look at the recent research in Nigeria, which is a research that reveals what we call the housing deficit in Nigeria, that research shows that over 17 to 20 million housing units are needed in Nigeria to cater for the needs of housing, whereas we can only afford 900,000 units. And so millions of people are losing their homes annually for various reasons. They are ravaging floods, especially in Nigeria. It has been displacing a lot of women in rural areas. And this displacement has been a potential increase in the risk of displaced populations, the risk of them spreading COVID-19 because they cannot self-isolate. They don't even have a safe space. They don't even have a safe home, and so they cannot even comply with the restrictions when they have to move. They don't have to go. So I will conclude this talk by saying that we have looked at the impact of COVID-19 women in the Niger Delta region, and the study has discovered that among others, women are highly impacted by the pandemic. And the terrain of the Niger Delta region has been making it worse for women here. And shows that there must be what we call human rights, because human rights must lie at the core of every COVID-19 emergency response. Because if you look at human rights, we consider the vulnerable, we consider that women are weak and they're more vulnerable in case of pandemic, and then so the government to make sure that they are
I think maybe they're having technical issues.
It's very important of gender considerations when there are responses to the pandemic, because in many states, using the lockdown restrictions and here we say thank you, merci, gracias, shukran. Thank you for listening. Thank you.